attention in the 55 years they played here, but things have changed. They now play in a brand new stadium just a few miles away, and their surprising early season success has brought them that national attention. Now the player most responsible for that success is their quarterback, Jeff Hostetler. It started 3 weeks ago. In his first game as a Mountaineer, Hostetler led his team to a 41-27 upset over Oklahoma. That victory and stats totaling 321 yards passing set West Virginia on fire. But 2 years ago, Hostetler's football career was up in the air. He was the starting quarterback at Penn State, but lost the job in the third game of the season. Coach Joe Paterno had decided to go with Todd Blackledge, leaving the rejected quarterback to make a difficult decision. Hostetler chose to transfer to West Virginia University, even though he had to sit out all last season. Jeff elaborated on that decision.
Basically, the reason that I left Penn State was just to play, just to go out and have fun. I wasn't having fun playing football.
Why not?
Up there. It was a lot of pressure. As a starting quarterback my sophomore year, I had never played a full game, and I never played a half a game. And usually, for a first time starting in front of 85,000 people, it takes a little while to get the jitters out, and I never really got the jitters out up at Penn State. I never really just had a lot of fun playing football.
Then you doubted yourself because of Joe Paterno's system?
Yeah, to me, I didn't feel that I was a starting quarterback. I didn't feel that I had the confidence of him or the rest of the team, and therefore I was looking over my shoulder an awful lot. I was wondering, if I make a mistake, am I coming out? And being a quarterback, you just can't do that. You got to go out and do the best that you can. And whatever happens, happens. If you throw an interception, you throw an interception. You just come off and go out and do your best the next time. You can't worry about it like I was up there. I was extremely under a lot of pressure.
So why did you select West Virginia?
Well, I had it narrowed down between West Virginia and Pitt. And I chose West Virginia because of how close it was to my hometown, which is in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. And also because of the coaching staff, and because of the players and how they treated me when I came down to visit. And I could feel a sense of something about them that things were really going to start looking up in the upcoming years. And I wanted.
He's averaging more than 33 yards per kick return. The kick is going to carry deep into the end zone. There will be no return. So Schubert continues to keep the opponents bottled up at the 20. Jeff Hostetler will start. He's out of Holsop, Pennsylvania. At quarterback, Mickey Walczak will be the tailback for the Mountaineers. Ron Wolfley is a 205-pound fullback. The wide receiver is Rich Hollins. He stands 6'2", and Wayne Brown, the other wide man, is a 6'1", 180-pounder. So we're ready to go. We'll show you the big guys up front for the Mountaineers in a moment. West Virginia's first snap of the afternoon. Beautiful, beautiful day on the artificial surface at Pitt Stadium in the Steel City. They send the man in motion. That's Mark Rao, putting him on the other side. He flexed out a little bit as the tight end, and Hostetler goes back on a straight drop, sets up, goes short. Rao's got the ball. One of the better tight ends in the country is out of bounds up at the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 19 yards and a first down for the Mountaineers. The offensive front for West Virginia. Ray Horgington weighs in at 270 at tackle. Andre Gist is a 245-pound guard. Dave Johnson, the center, at 260. Scott Barrows, the other guard, at 245. Hurt Keel, a 265-pound tackle. And Mark Rao, who just caught the pass, 6'3", 216. First down, Mountaineers from the 39. They give the ball off on the inside to the tailback, Mickey Walczak, a 205-pound senior. And he picks up short yardage. The defensive unit for Pittsburgh lines up with Woods, Brazo. It'll be second down and about 7. Wayne Brown is out as a wide man, and Gary Mullen comes in. He is number 1. They're double wide to the top of the picture. Hostetler rolls that way, gives instead to his fullback, Wolfley, and Wolfley hits it across the 45 to about the 47. So the defensive flow, for a moment, indecisive in that he had started to roll out and trying to show them that moving pocket early in the game, and he gave it off to his fullback coming back the other way. There's the series record. You can see that Pittsburgh has dominated it. The last time that West Virginia won a game, as I mentioned, was a field goal 17-14 into the game at Morgantown, 17-14. It is third down. They need 2. Ball again goes to the tailback, Walzak, and he is nailed at the line of scrimmage. Dave Pozzoli, who intercepted a pass against Illinois last week and ran 95 yards, and he's been resting ever since. Until now.
Keith, his comment last week was if he'd have been caught if he hadn't had a good tailwind. Half minutes have been played so far.
Well, they've got it rolling again. Superic is in to do the kicking. The freshman. He's about a little deeper, about 2 yards deeper than normal, and he nails that one. Boy, that's a confidence builder, forcing Flynn into a fair catch ball just outside his own 10. That was a 45-yard punt by the freshman. So we'll see Pitt next with the ball. First snap of this ball game. They go double wide. Collins and Dawkins. Dan Marino, the quarterback, from the 11-yard line. No score, and Marino's on a straight drop. Looks left. Throws over the middle, and the pass is complete to John Brown, the tight end. So Brown gets a short gain from the 11 out to about the 19. There's Danny Marino, one of the top Heisman candidates, one of the fine quarterbacks in the country. Brian Thomas, a running back who hasn't exploded yet this year, but he will. Good blocking fullback, Marlon McIntyre. And the wide people are Julius Dawkins, an All-American at 6'3", and Dwight Collins, a junior out of Beaver Falls, at 6'1", and they are 2 flyers. It is second down. They picked up 8 on the pass play. They need 2 yards. And the ball goes to Thomas, the tailback. He spins it across the 25 out near the 27. The offensive front for Pittsburgh. Now listen to these fellows. Jimbo Covert, 279 pounds. Rob Feda at guard, 250 pounds. Jim Sweeney, the center, 232, a little fella. Ron Sams, the other guard, 269. The other tackle, Bill Froelich, only a sophomore, 270. And John Brown, the Sugar Bowl hero, 6'4", 222. It's first down for the Panthers at their own 27. It's Thomas again, the tailback, caught at the line of scrimmage and wrestled down. The defensive unit for West Virginia lines up. Right now, the Mountaineers showing the 50 defense. 5 people up front, 2 linebackers inside. Marino straight back on second down and 9. Goes short to Thomas coming out of the backfield. Slips for a moment, loses momentum. Thrown down, 35-yard line. They'll be looking at 3rd and 2.
Marino has showed some patience in the first series, throwing short to the tight end, first and second to the back out of the backfield, the safest patterns you can throw from your end of the field.
Interesting that both teams have come out early, Frank, showing preparation for the short passing game.
That's respect for both defenses as we look at Marino's records for last year.
I think one thing
for this year, I'm sorry. 2 or 3 days, not let him throw any passes, and the coaches say his ball is now zinging. It's got a tight spiral to it like it did all of last year.
We must still be having some trouble with the clock as we have in the ballpark and it ain't working.
That happens in a big game, it seems like.
3rd down and about 2.5. Ball goes to the fullback, McIntyre. He's caught behind the line of scrimmage, and they've got him just short of the first down. He almost broke the tackle, but he got away and picked up 1.5 yards as Steve Hathaway, the outside linebacker, was wrestling with him. Hathaway, a 220-pounder, had a hold of McIntyre, who weighs about 200. So that will bring in the punting team for the Panthers and Greg Genser, who ranks 9th in the nation with an average of 44.6. Willie Drury goes deep now for West Virginia. Drury is dangerous. Genser stands a little closer to the line of scrimmage than did the West Virginia punter. Drury's going to try to come with it. He got one good initial block down there to give him a little daylight, and he brings it back after a 44-yard punt, about 7 yards. Believe it. You see the standings in the American League East, and if that game means something tomorrow in Baltimore between the Brewers and the Orioles, ABC Sports will be there to bring it to you. We'll be wherever the game has some meaning tomorrow. There might be a bunch of them. That pass is short by Hostetler, and he took a wallop. He took a wallop from Dolman, Chris Dolman.
Number 56, 6'6", just a sophomore. Had 4 sacks last week against Tony Eason. Watch him go right around number 74, which is Ray Hossinger, and he hits Hostelda after he delivers the pass.
Well, he did hit him as hard as I thought he did, because Jeff got up pretty slowly, but he really just kind of pushed him down. He could have leveled it. It is 2nd down and 10 from the 27. Hostetler back, goes over the middle with it. He hits his tight end, Mark Rao, and he's got another 1st down up on the 45. So they hook up for the 2nd time as Tim Lewis makes the tackle.
Mark Rao, number 85, led his team in receptions last year with 64. You can see why. He gets open right around Michael Woods, number 56, and the ball is right on the target. That was an excellent timing by Hostelda, the quarterback.
And Rao's a good one. 1st down, Mountaineers, right on the 45. 4-man front for Pitt. They almost jumped. I think they did. I think they made contact before the snap, but I don't see it yet. Got a flag across the way. Looked to me like that Pelusi, number 52, may have on the element of manpower, Frank. There's no question the edge has to go to Pittsburgh, but that means that West Virginia will go to a little deeper into the playbook. There are other baseball scores from last night, and you can see the Angels and Royals still have a contest out in the American League West, and the National League West remains a dogfight as well. And there's a story on the Phil Necro show in San Diego. Oh, what a game he pitched. They give the ball off to the fullback, Ron Wolfley, and he found some daylight as he moves it across midfield. And for the first time in the ball game, West Virginia is on the Pitt side. The ball is put down at the Pittsburgh 42, 1st down.
Use unfamiliar position.
He's got Darrell Miller out of the picture now, flanked to the bottom of the screen. They have not looked at him as yet. He's looking at him now over the middle. And Miller has got a 1st down for West Virginia inside the 30. Tom Flynn, the tackle at the 27. And Chris Dolman is shaken up on the play. A transfer from Penn State, a straight 4-point student in his studies. Short man, the fullback, Wolfley, to the 25. Picked up about 2 yards. And he is wrestled down by Charles Yogi Jones, a senior out of Donoro, Pennsylvania.
As we look at the comparisons of the offense for this year, we see that Pittsburgh is way down. They averaged over 400 yards last year. West Virginia, an up-and-coming young football team with this great quarterback, Jeff Hostetler, is having a sensational year. There's Don Nealon. Boy, he's turned that program around in a hurry at West Virginia.
2nd down and about 8. Hostetler back, keeps on, gets the pass off. Good throw, great catch. Great catch by Miller. He was on his way to the turf. The ball came whistling in, and he scooped it right off the rug.
Darrell Miller is a real story as we watch from the blocking, the pass blocking as the linebacker blitzes on, and Hostetler gets the ball away. Miller was injured last year, Keith, in the first ball game of the season. Here he is. He had a very serious knee operation, but he's a cagey youngster. You can see the defensive halfback, Lewis, did not come up and play in close enough, and the ball was there for the completion.
It's 1st down, West Virginia at the Pitt 14. Now Pittsburgh brings the extra man up. Get a little heat on the quarterback. They don't have any heat. His pass is too high. There was very good coverage in the secondary. Rich Hollins was in there along with number 19 Wayne Brown, and they both had run a post pattern.
Teams have difficult times getting the ball in the end zone once the field shortens for the coverage of the defensive backs.
All right, Rao comes out to the left, and Miller goes to the right on 2nd down and 10 from the 14. They give it off on a trap up the middle to Walzak, and Walzak cannot pop it loose. Number 87 grabbed him by the shoestrings as he went by. Cesar Aldisert, a sophomore from Pittsburgh. If Caesar didn't get a hold of him, he's inside the 5 at least.
Keith, I believe he would have scored. It was a good call, the draw play. Fake pass and run.
Where it is 3rd down. They need 7 for the 1st down. Send around to the right side. They've got 2 men over there now who can catch the ball, and Hostetler's going that way. Jeff's looking in the corner. He's got nobody to throw to. Turns on the speed. Touchdown. Oh. Did he give it to him? Yes, they did. I saw one man wave it, and the other man said yes. But you've got a flag. I can see a flag thrown way in the corner over there. So let's just hold on for a minute. It is a clip. It's against West Virginia. That's why the one official had waved it off, because he was the man who threw the flag, and the clip cost West Virginia.
Well, at number 1, it was out on the pattern, and you can see that when the run takes place, the defensive backs are coming up and blocking from the rear. Any contact from the rear is clipping. Mullen, I think he's blocking on Lewis, number 26. Across the goal line.
And it's third down. The ball coming back out to about the 18-yard line. As Hostetler sets up, he has to throw it short. The pass is complete to Mark Rao, the tight end, but it's just barely inside the 15, down maybe to the 13. And so here comes the West Virginia kicking team on the field. So the clipping penalty against the Mountaineers cost them a touchdown. When you see that man go to his pocket and wave his arms, you know that there's something in the Woodhouse.
Well, Mullen was making a great effort. He knew that he had to block the cornerback if Hostetler was going to score. He just shouldn't have hit him from the rear.
Paul Woodside in for a 34-yard field goal try. He's 13 out of 13 so far. That's a school record. He hooks this one up in the air, and it is good. So he is just 2 consecutive kicks away from the NCAA record of 16 straight. And West Virginia takes the lead 3-0. Interesting things about Paul Woodside. He has good vision up close, but his distance vision is so poor that the uprights are just sort of an image to him. He said you'll get glasses at the end of the season. I'm not so sure Don Nayland's going to want him to.
I wouldn't change a thing. I'd leave him just as he is.
Maybe for driving. Woodside will kick it off. Lewis and Stone are deep for the Panthers. It goes to Lewis at the goal line, maybe the 1-yard line. He's got a little hole up the middle. Well, that's a nice run. They've got him marked out of bounds up on the 49. Scott Dixon finally brought him down. Scott Dixon shoved him out. Woodside. First down for the Panthers in the middle of the field. Let's see if they can use this big return by Tim Lewis. They hand it off to Brian Thomas, and there's nothing there. Number 90, Darrell Talley, leading the defensive charge for West Virginia. Here's Ann Simon. Gave him a yard on the carry, and it's 2nd down and 9 for Pittsburgh, right on the 50. Double wide, top of the picture. Marino back and no pressure. Goes over the top. Intended for Thomas. A dive for it. West Virginia comes up with a football. Dave Preston, inside linebacker. Bad pass.
Keith, what I think we are seeing is a team who's on their way up, really enthusiastic and aroused to play, and we're watching the team Pittsburgh trying to hold their number 1 position, and they're very careful. Watch Marino as he just stays in the pocket. He gets a little rush from up the middle, but he throws the ball too high. Thomas gets his hand on it, but watch this effort right here. That's tremendous effort of a young football team that's on their way up.
That is the 10th interception of Dan Marino this season. The interception. The ball is on their own 40. They lead 3-0 here in the first quarter of play, and Hostetler throws it for number 19, Wayne Brown, who never looked. He was up trying to throw a block. Never saw the ball coming.
Keith, what happened is that Hostetler changed the play at the line of scrimmage, and Brown, the wide receiver, didn't hear it. He was running a play that was called in the huddle instead of the pass that was changed to at the line of scrimmage. Action pass, and that has really neutralized the rush of the Pitt line.
King Harvey is now in at tailback. He is a sophomore from Dublin, Virginia. Here's Hostetler to throw it. Goes over the middle, short with it. The pass is caught by Miller. And Miller is wrestled down by Tim Lewis. He is short of the first down as the ball is marked near the 47. They've got to go just over midfield to get their first down. So they're looking at third and a short throw. Brown comes to the left side, along with Rich Hollins. They're going to throw on 3rd and 3. They go over the middle with it. The pass is incomplete. The pass intended for King Harvey, the tailback, coming out of the backfield, and he was whacked just as the ball got there. And the man that whacked him was Caesar Aldersert. And so it'll be 4th down for the Mountaineers. Got no nerves.
4th down and 3.
Don Neyland said he's been improving steadily since he came on campus, and this is the first time that he's really been that starting kicker.
It's a low one. Tom Flynn back, takes it at the 9. Got a wall. The kicker, Superic, makes the tackle. So the only thing Pittsburgh has done in moving the football so far today really is return the kicks. The kickoff return was 48 yards. The punt return now of 42 yards. And young Superic did his job again. He knocked it 44.
He kicked it a little bit low. As you can see, the blocking develop. Once the punt returner gets the wall, there's a potential touchdown, and West Virginia is lucky to stop it from a score. As you can see, Flynn makes a great run, cutting back. He's a fine football player.
The ball is just over on the West Virginia side of the field. First down for Pitt, and let's call it the West Virginia 49. They give the ball off to Marlon McIntyre, the fullback, and McIntyre runs it down inside the 45 to the 44.
They haven't decided so far in this ball game.
Second down 4 from the West Virginia 44. Give it to the first man out of the eye, McIntyre, and he bowls his way to about the 41. Speaking of Steelers, always fun to come to town and have a chance to visit with our old friend Lynn Swan, who's up with us today. Trying to get my job.
Keith, the third and short yardage for a team like Pittsburgh is much easier to make than for a team like West Virginia that's not as physical, relies more on passing.
Oj Fazio grew up in Coriopolis, played here at Pitt, lives out in Coriopolis. He's living a dream right now, but it's going to have a pinhole in it if he should lose this ball game today, because his team is not doing all that well. Brian Thomas to the 40, falls across the 40, and that will be a first down for Pittsburgh. Dennis Folks, a senior out of Columbus, Ohio, finally brings him down. Coming up, first down. It's going to be about 6 inches short.
I think Pittsburgh will go for it. They've got the muscle if they can just get the offensive line to get some movement. One thing that Joe Moore, the line coach, told me as we look at Coach Fazio is that West Virginia uses a lot of little stunts and offsets that confuses the blocking. Gives them some problems.
Fourth down and about 6 inches. McIntyre over the top. He's got the first down as he lunges to the 37. Marlin went over the top, got a good bounce, and got a couple extra yards.
Marlon McIntyre was an outstanding high school tailback. He's a...
Well, the Panthers now have the football at the West Virginia 37, their deepest penetration so far in this ball game, with West Virginia leading 3-0. Mountaineers drop off now. They've got a 4-man front. Looks like they tried to set up an inside blitz on it. As Marino goes to the sidelines, pass intended for Julius Dawkins, and it's over his left shoulder, and Dawkins doesn't pull it down. That's in the Southwest Conference. Second down and 10 for Pitt. Long count. Marino may have changed it. Give it to Thomas, and Thomas is hit behind the line of scrimmage, but gets away. You don't think he's that strong? Look at this. Finally down at the 10. Gerald Talley had a chance to drop him for about a 6-yard loss and couldn't hold him.
I think Brian Thomas is one of the most underrated football players, but let's watch Talley, who was a leading tackle last year for Western. He hits him in the backfield, got him cold. Talley weighs 230 pounds. Now Thomas shows his ability to make people miss him. Now let's watch the effort. Watch who makes the tackle right here. The fellow who missed him in the backfield, number 90, finally brings him down and prevents the touchdown.
But you got a penalty, Frank. Ball comes all the way back to the 29 as Pittsburgh is called for clipping. So the play comes back to the 29 where it is second down and maybe 2.5. And Marino to throw it. He looks short, throws short, incomplete. Pass intended for Thomas. He whistled it right through his hands.
Dwight Collins was wide open.
Don't blame him. They've got Collins and Dawkins both wide to the top of the picture now. On third down and 2.5. And give it to McIntyre. He's got the first down. Takes a pretty good lick as he gets to the 24. Reggie Armstead, number 24, a senior out of Fairmont, West Virginia, hit him right on the numbers. And McIntyre is going to lay there a while until he gets some wind back in his body.
The defensive backfield for West Virginia.
All right, the football is at the 24 of West Virginia. First down as McIntyre is out of there. And Beach is in. And the ball goes to Thomas. And Bryan runs it up the middle. And he runs it down to the 22. So he picked up, runs it down to the 18, rather. He picked up about ball on the West Virginia 17. Bill Beach, the fullback, replacing McIntyre. And Marino keeps it. He's got some daylight around that corner, but takes a slide at the 15 when he looked up and saw 4 white shirts coming at him. I think he missed the handoff.
Faulty ball handling. I don't know whether it was Thomas's fault or Marino's fault, but when Marino's
about 4.
Pittsburgh is coming out of that huddle very slowly, like they have some doubt in their mind.
Marino back. Batted away. Incomplete. Slapped away at the line of scrimmage by Darrell Talley. Darrell may be a little hot after letting Thomas get away from him a while ago, but he went up in the air, stand 6'4", and slapped that pass away. Look, so the Pittsburgh kicking team comes on as you look at the play again.
Watch Talley up top of your screen. He's very, very alert and presence of mind. Number 90. He waits until Marino releases the ball and look at him go up and deflect the ball.
He could dunk it.
Thomas was wide open. Had he not deflected the ball, it would have been a completion.
Eric Schubert is in now for the field goal try, and that is blocked, and West Virginia's got the football out at the 27. The Mountaineers are storming right now. So how do you do with 57 seconds to play in the first quarter? West Virginia stops Pittsburgh and leads 3-0. Out at their own 27 with Curlin Beck and Cam Zupp lined up behind the quarterback, Jeff Hostetler. Hostetler back to throw. No pressure on him. Goes over the middle, and the pass is complete to Darrell Miller. And Darrell Miller is out to the 43, a West Virginia first down. Now let's check in with Ann Simon. 48 is now out there for West Virginia. He's the speedster. Hostetler gives the ball inside. Cam Zupp, 215-pound sophomore from Buckhannon, West Virginia. And he blasts his way across the 45 to the 47.
In visiting with Don Nealon last night, he told me that the running plays that they would use against Pittsburgh would be very quick. They could not sustain their blocks on slow developing plays, so the fullback quick plays would be the things that they would use most.
The first quarter is over here at Pitt Stadium, and West Virginia leads Pittsburgh 3-0. Second down and about 7. The ball is on their own 46, and they lead 3-0 as we have the first snap of the second quarter. And Curlin Beck, a senior from Bedford Heights, Ohio, carries for short yardage as you see the numbers off the first quarter.
We would have to say that West Virginia has dominated the first quarter. Their quarterback, Hostetler, has been sensational, moving the pocket around, play action passing. Look at 88 yards passing, 20 close.
Gary Mullen, wide man to the bottom of the picture for West Virginia. Hostetler looks that way, goes back the other way, and throws complete. Oh, that's a dandy catch over there by Rich Hollins. He had to stretch all of his 6'2" frame to get it, but he got it. They had 2 guys coming, one of them being the inside linebacker, Yogi Jones.
Jones, number 59, gets picked up. Good job by the offensive line, but you can see Hostetler, the right of your screen, goes down.
Uh-oh. The punt goes straight up in the air and then takes a West Virginia bounce. My goodness. Superic shot it right up the old elevator shaft. And Pittsburgh stood around and watched the confounded ball come down, and it bounced about 20 yards. Can you believe that? You got to catch the football. It winds up a 32-yard punt. Here's Jim 16. Marino goes over the middle, and the pass is incomplete. Oh, that could have been an interference call. John Brown, the intended receiver, and looked like Dennis Folks had a hold of him before the ball got there. but I'm looking around for a piece of laundry on the field, and I don't see it.
Well, Dennis Fouts just took John Brown on and stayed right with him. When the ball got there, they were wrestling for it, and it fell incomplete. Excellent play.
Marino is now 2 out of 7 in passing for 15 yards. Second down and 10 from the 16. Ball goes to Brian Thomas. He's got a man in front of him, gets one good block from the fullback, but then the West Virginia defensive group gets together, and Virginia now, as Pitt is looking at 3rd and 9. 5 defensive backs out there for the Mountaineers. John Brown, tight end, jumps. Marino changing the play at the line of scrimmage.
I want 63. Blast!
Well, that's the play.
No, that's the defense. 63
defensive setup, right.
Dead ball foul. Illegal procedure against the Blue. 3rd down.
I should mention.
And as we noted, they're bringing in the nickel back as well. So they're reading pass all the way now on 3rd down and 14. And Marino sets up on his 5, gets it off over the middle, and the pass is caught by Dawkins, who was all alone up at the 36. And he is thrown down at the 41, and he's got a first down. That's the first pass that Marino has really zipped with precision, and he had his man all alone.
Well, West Virginia's playing man for man, and Dawkins is going to go down. We still don't see the defensive backs in the picture. Pittsburgh ran a little crisscross with Dawkins coming inside, and plenty of time for Marino, and he just rifled it right in there.
Ball is at their own 41. West Virginia leading 3-0. Biggest play of the game so far for Pitt. Marino looks at Dawkins. He goes short, however, instead to Thomas. He had Dawkins again, but he went to the short man, Thomas. Gain is about 4 yards on the play. Back together if he wants to get back in amongst the ranking heavyweights. Second down, 6. That's Thomas with the ball. He's got a hole up the middle, and he's got a first down for Pittsburgh as he reaches the West Virginia 48. Dennis Fouts making the tackle for the Mountaineers.
If I was going to run the ball, I would run right over the left side of the line behind Jimbo Covert, who's one of the best offensive tackles in America.
Keith Williams has gone in a split in, replacing Julius Dawkins for Pittsburgh. Dwight Collins has not seen the ball yet today. First down. Marino back. He looks at Collins. Collins is open, but he goes again to the short man, John Brown. And the ball is down to the 45. So he had his choice that time. And he went to the short man, Brown. Hathaway making the tackle.
He's the same quarterback right now as he was last year. Lack of confidence.
The game plan might well have been, too, to work with a short game, and that's what they've been doing all week. Marino's got all day to throw. He goes again to the short man, Thomas. Brian Thomas spinning away from 2 West Virginia tacklers, and he gets an extra 4 yards, making him miss as he goes to about the 32. Hathaway was the first man that had him, and then Talley missed him. And Notre Dame has taken Michigan on the board first. Clemson on the board first against Kentucky. All first quarter scores. Baylor now stretching it out against Houston. Things are not going well for the Cougars, are they? 32-yard line of West Virginia. Pitt's ball, first down. Thomas. And there's a good tackle by number 91, Todd Campbell, the strong tackle, a 270-pound senior. He's a Pennsylvanian out of New Kensington as he came in low and tripped Thomas.
The student body sweep. We've only seen it one time so far.
Second down and 9 from near the 31. Marino's pass incomplete, almost picked off. It was intended for John Brown, and Tim Agee had as much of the ball as Brown did.
And gone to Collins deep for the first down. But he wants to get rid of the ball a little bit earlier than he should.
3rd and 9. West Virginia's put no pressure on him today. The pass is incomplete. And the pass intended for Dwight Collins, the junior out of Beaver Falls. And good coverage by Steve Newberry in the West Virginia secondaries.
Now, there's no doubt Newberry does not have the speed of Collins, but look at him change directions. the emphasis in pass defense is how quick you can change directions, playing man for man on a defensive or offensive receiver that run a 4-3. That's as fine a play as you'll ever see in college football.
But it was at the same time, Coach, and you got to admit, poor timing on the Pitt pass.
Ball should have been thrown earlier.
That's right. 47-yard field goal try by Schubert. He hooked it left. It is no good. At 8:07 to go in the first half. So once again, the West Virginia defense has turned Pitt back. West Virginia leading Pittsburgh, and the Mountaineers have the ball first down at their own 31. Jeff Hostetler is the quarterback, turns and hands the ball off to number 43, the fullback Kem Zopp. Zopp hit by J.C. Pelusi and Chris Dolman, and he got a couple of yards.
Let's see how Chris Dolman reacts after the injury. Number 56, playing right off a keel, number 71. He reacts to the play, sees the play, and he has that quickness and speed to close right in and assist on the tackle. Makes the tackle.
We saw him last year in his freshman year against South Carolina, and he was an absolute holy terror in the first half of that ball game against the Gamecocks down in Columbia. Mickey Walczak is back at tailback now, replacing Curlin Beck for the Mountaineers. Second down and 8 from out near the 33. Hostetler back, gonna throw. Got some heat. Gets it off short. Pass good to Walczak. Walczak to the 40. And out of bounds. They'll mark him just short of the 40. And he was getting heat that time from Pelusi. 1 yards in the ball game. Ball is just at the 40. Need about 1.5 yards for the first down. Ball is given outside to Curlin Beck. He's got some help. He's got a first down. He's out of bounds at the Pittsburgh 43. Boy, that kid he's got some speed, doesn't he?
He had the speed to break outside, and it's a good block by Wayne Brown. When the ball carrier has the freedom to run, the play was designed inside. Watch Brown, number 19, make a stalk block on number 29 of Pittsburgh as Beck breaks right outside, makes a big...
Wolfley is back in at fullback now. And he's the lone back, and he's got the ball, and he's down to about the 40.
Number 36.
Better part of 3 on the carry. Depending on where they give him the mark, make it 2 on the carry. Second down and 8 coming up.
Hostetler plenty of time.
Well, they bring Flynn up to safety on a blitz. Give the ball off to Curlin Beck, and Beck runs in traffic for 2 down to the Pittsburgh 38. Flynn was coming lickety-split, but he got there just a step too soon.
Thomas Flynn was second in tackles. Once again, he's the free safety.
Short of the 38. You figure pass here. See if the Panther defensive bunch can put any pressure on him. They show a 5-man front right now. Quick stand-up pop. Pass is incomplete. Pass was thrown behind the receiver, Wayne Brown. Brown was open and was in position, I think, to pick up the first down, but Hostetler threw the ball behind him. So a hit. Superic now in for his 4th punt, 45, 44, and 32. Flynn is deep. Tries to knuckle it up there and kill it deep. He's got it spinning. It's a tail dragger, though, and it goes bounding into the end zone. Comes up to the snap, first down on the 20. Trailing 3-0 with 5:49 to play in the first half. Marino pitches the ball outside to Joe McCall, a junior out of Miami. And that's a semblance of the old student body right play you were talking about, Frank, and they got some yardage out of it, about 6. Nope, they'll give him 5, and you got a flag. Got a holding call. Is it a holding or illegal use of hands?
Illegal use of the hands. The palm.
So they back them up now to start where they were a play ago. 1st and 10 at the 20. Marino back. No pressure. Throws it short. McIntyre's back in the ball game. And McIntyre is brought down up on the 24, and hunting him down was Rich Walters, number 97. So be 3 very important baseball games. Well, it could be 5. Yeah, I guess you're right. Second down and 5. And it's Thomas, the tailback, to the 30, and that looks like a first down from here. Dennis Fawkes brings him down for West Virginia. But you've got San Francisco, Los Angeles, you got Atlanta, San Diego, you got Baltimore, Milwaukee, you got California, Texas, you got Kansas City, Oakland. And all of those games could mean something tomorrow.
Get the scores before you know where to go. Is that right, Keith?
That's right. Just beyond the 30. First down for the Panthers. Brian Thomas pitches it back now to Marino. Trying to go deep and can't do it. West Virginia's Dave O'Black, the middle guard, fought his way through the traffic and got the Pittsburgh quarterback for a sack back at the 21. Loss of about 11. Second down, about 21. Straight drop. Marino looking, going over the middle for Dawkins. It is incomplete. He had Brown deep. Dawkins curling in outside the 40. Anthony Daniels, the strong safety, stayed at home and knocked it away. Third down, 21. Ball is just outside the Pitt 20. Passes away. Brian Thomas out of the backfield, and when he collides with a West Virginia defender, the ball comes loose. Reggie Armstead was there about the time the ball got there, and you can see that Thomas took a lick.
Marino has tremendous touch. Watch this. Take notice of how he floats the ball up. He's laying it right over the linebacker's head, but that sets Thomas up for the safety man. Cornerback Armstead, number 24, just knocks it in the back, and the ball pops right out.
And Greg Ganser is in to punt for the second time. His first one was 44 yards. It's a good one there, too. Drury lets it bounce. Oh, my goodness, you've got to catch the ball. Every time they let it bounce on this rug, it's going to roll 10, 15, sometimes 30 yards. That's a 56-yard punt. Timeout, 3:12-2 after the 56-yard punt. Jeff Hostetler sets him up with Wolfley at fullback. And fakes the ball to the tailback. Walzak throws to the sidelines. Pass good to Wayne Brown. And Brown's got a West Virginia first down up at the 40. And once again, Hostetler's able to run away from the pressure. Today, in games previously, they've been able to watch while the defensive front did the heavy work.
Good point.
Defensive front's not doing it today yet, anyway. Hostetler runs away, gets off the pass incomplete. He got away from Pozzoli and Pelusi. And the pass goes incomplete. Pittsburgh's average coming into this in the first three games was allowing only 128 yards. Deep drop this time, sets up a screen, and it doesn't work as the ball was thrown to Curlin Beck, and Beck lost his footing and went down back on the 35. So there is a loss of 5 yards on the play.
Pittsburgh wants to be very careful on long yardage. Pittsburgh can really take advantage of them if they're not careful. It certainly favors the defense.
Well, he keeps moving away from the pressure. He's got all day now. He goes back the other way, still looking. He's got nobody. Now he looks for Hollins and finds him. And he's out of bounds at the Pittsburgh 44, and a penalty flag on the field. And look out for this one. Roughing the passer. Roughing the passer.
And Keith, that's tacked on at the end of the completion. So that's 15 yards at the completion. After the completion. Dead ball penalty. Watch Hollins come inside and watch his reaction. That's the key. His reaction after the scramble. Wide open, out of bounds, and a first down with a penalty tacked on it.
Run the same way your quarterback is running.
The intermediate man does, Keith. He runs the same way. The deep man stays deep. Gives them a good plan on the scramble.
Minute and 42 to go now. The ball is inside the Pitt 30. First down, West Virginia, and they run it on a draw, and Curlin Beck. If he could have gotten away from Flynn, Tom Flynn's the man that brought him down. He had a whole lot of room heading for the corner. But Flynn got him.
Flynn's a free safety. He was the last man, really. I think it would have been a touchdown.
All right, West Virginia spends a timeout. You saw a moment ago that they have them all remaining, and Don Nalen is yelling at his football team that he's been trying to get the timeout. Pittsburgh's 70 in passing. It's second down. They need a good 3 from the Pittsburgh 23. Hostetler sets it up, gets it off, And it is intercepted in the end zone. Intercepted by Tim Lewis. And Troy Hill, the left cornerback, was blitzing on the play. And I'm sure that Hostetler felt him coming. He let the ball go perhaps before he wanted to. It was too high for the intended receiver, Gary Mullen. And Hostetler has been intercepted for the first time, and the Panthers now get the football first down at their own 20 with 1 minute and 18 seconds to play in the first half. West Virginia leading 3-0.
Watch the blitz from the bottom side, number 22. Troy Hill, and the ball just sails up, and a second interception for Hostetler in the season.
The Pittsburgh side of the stadium up on their feet, rooting for their team to get something going. Swung out to the fullback, Beach coming out of the backfield, nothing. And well, I'll let you see it. You can find out the punchline. Second down and 10 from the 20. Marino back. He gets it off. The pass complete to McCall. McCall gets a block and gets out across the 30 to the 31 for a first down. That stops the clock to move the chains with 1 minute and 6 seconds to play in the first half.
The strategy for West Virginia: concede the short pass, not let them get anything deep down the middle, keep them in bounds, don't let them get out of bounds, and stop the clock if it's all possible.
Keith Williams is in, Julius Dawkins out at a wide receiver. And Marino came off the snap without the ball, and penalty flags are flying around. Get a little bit of a scuffle as the ball went squirting down the line, and those
dead ball foul on the blue.
Illegal procedure call. 18 for 81 yards here in the first half. Inside a minute now to go in the first half. He's looking. He goes over the middle, and he hits number 38 of West Virginia right in the hands. Dave Preston, inside linebacker. And old David's going to go home mumbling about that for 3 or 4 weeks, because he hit him right in the numbers with it.
As we watch it again, Marino has plenty of time, a 3-man rush. He really, the defense is very basic, 3 deep, but he just waits and finally throws the ball. Watch Preston right there. The ball's right on his numbers.
There were 3. Second down, 15. They give the ball off to McCall. McCall on a reverse. Get a couple of blocks around the corner. Phelps pulls him out of bounds for West Virginia at the third, just outside the 38 of Pitt. Ball got a lot of freshmen and sophomores playing with that offensive unit. It's third down. They need about 3. And they give it to Joe McCall, and he doesn't get it. He's to just across the 40. He had to go to about the 42. And the clock is running now, 35 seconds.
Well, that was good defensive play.
It's not going to spend a timeout.
Keith, that was a great defensive play by the left side of the West Virginia defense. Todd Campbell forcing the punt. That relieves the old coach having to worry about Marino getting the ball in close enough for a field goal.
Third kick by Ganser with 10 seconds to play in the first half. He's hit 2 at 44 and 56 yards, 56 yards. Reggie Armstead, the deep man. West Virginia got a little pressure on Ganser, but he gets it out of there. Armstead comes up, accepts it at the 25, comes back to the 31, 35-yard punt. Number 26 and number 46, Darnell Stone for the Panthers. 3-0 West Virginia.
Keith, while we're waiting for the kickoff, I might mention that field position has kept the scoring down. West Virginia started on their -20, -27, -40, -27, -22, -31. Pittsburgh's about the same, and that just tells us in coaching it's hard to score 70 and 80 yards away from pay dirt.
Ball Woodside kicks it off. And it goes to Lewis, 3 yards deep in the end zone, and he's coming out with it. And they get him at about the 17. So he'd have been 3 yards better off if he'd just stayed back in the end zone. Defensive front, Todd Campbell's a 275-pound defensive tackle. Jimmy Merritt's a 250-pound nose guard. Chuck Harris, a 270-pound tackle, 3 down linemen. Darrell Talley weighs in at 222, outside linebacker. Steve Hathaway, 220, the other outside man. Dennis Falks, 233 inside. And Dave Preston, 220 inside. Here comes Pittsburgh to the attack now. Collins to the left. Dawkins to the right. Thomas and Beach are behind Marino on a roll. Danny looking. He's got Collins, and he throws it over his head and into the crowd. Tried to loop the ball to Dwight Collins and couldn't get it to him. Here's the defensive secondary. Steve Newberry is a 6'3" fellow at a cornerback. Anthony Daniels, a strong safety, stands 6'2". Free safety is Tim Agee, 5'11". And the other corner is Reggie Armstead, 6-footer. And they will all hit you. And 10 from the 17 for Pitt. Goes straight back this time. Steps up and throws, and it's intercepted by Darrell Talley. And Talley runs it back down to the Pittsburgh 12. And the Mountaineers are in business early in the 3rd quarter.
Marino is going to drop straight back in the pocket, and Talley is the outside linebacker, number 90. He's dropping straight back, and Marino once again hits him right on the numbers. He did not see him. Here's 90. Talley, Darrell Talley, one of their very fine defensive football players. Look at his hands. He just looked that ball right in like a tight end and has the interception. West Virginia's in scoring range.
They put it at the 13 of Pittsburgh. Stetler goes to the air in a hurry, and the pass is too wide. A little flare out at 20 for 135 yards and an interception. 2nd down and 10 from the Pittsburgh 13. Walzak and Wolfley are the setbacks. The blitz is on. Flynn is coming. He missed him over the middle. Oh, my gosh, he had Miller wide open, and he missed him. He picked up Flynn and stepped away from him on a safety blitz. And then he had Miller right over the middle, lonesome, and he missed him. My goodness. Troy Hill is a corner for Pittsburgh, 5'11", 174. Tim Lewis, the other corner, 6-footer, 195. Peep Short, 6'2", 204. And Tom Flynn, who just put on the safety blitz there, 6-footer, 194 pounds. So Hostetler had his man once he had stepped away from Flynn, but he couldn't complete the pass. Let's see if he goes to Rao this time. Tries to come down the line on an option. And Pittsburgh turns him back inside in a hurry, and Bill Moss makes the tackle. And so West Virginia gets the football. 1st down at the Pitt 13, and they can't move it an inch. And in comes the kicking team.
Keith, that's the 11th time this season that West Virginia's been stopped inside the 25-yard line and had to go to the field goal. Give the Pittsburgh defense credit. They rose to the occasion when they had to and stopped them.
Paul Woodside, who's hit 14 in a row. He's just too short of the NCAA consecutive field goal record. This is a 30-yard kick. The hold is good. The kick is up. The kick is good. So he has 15 in a row. And West Virginia's lead now with 13 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter grows to 6-0. It's a very quiet producer. Chuck Howard's alma mater is trailing. Goodness. Navy's doing a pretty good job if they're handling Mr. Bennett, so I'll tell you that. There's the kick. And it's taken by Lewis back on about the 2. And he is nailed at the 16. Brad Minitry came downfield and laid it on him. And they'll give his advance to the 17. So Marino has had very little pressure. He's been sacked 1 time.
And that was a gadget play, too.
Yep, it was. Handed off to Thomas. Thomas is upended at the 19. Chuck Harris, a big senior from Galena, Illinois, rose up and smote him down. Turned him upside down is what he did.
What we're seeing with this Pittsburgh offense, they just can't get settled in exactly what they want to do. They threw on the first possession of the half. It was intercepted. Now they've come back and try to establish some running. They're playing right into the hands of the West Virginia defense, I think.
I don't think there's such a word as smoked. It's very close to the 20. 2nd down, about 7. Uh-oh. Brian Thomas trying to cut it back. And Todd Campbell was standing there and like a fallen wall got him. He ran right into him. And Mr. Campbell, who weighs 270 pounds, decked him.
And Todd Campbell was from right by Pittsburgh. He played against Bill Fralick, the big offensive tackle. He was looking forward to this ball game as we looked at Jeff Hostetler. He's had a fine game so far.
6-0 lead, West Virginia. 3rd down. And 10 now for the Panthers. Moreno's pass is complete to Thomas coming out of the backfield. Boy, he has great leg strength. But the Mountaineers, tackling in cubbies, get him at about the 24, and that's short of the 1st down.
Here's
Florida State leading Ohio State 14-10 in the 2nd quarter, and Maryland shutting out Syracuse in the 2nd quarter. Willie Drury is the deep man for West Virginia. Reggie Armstead back there, and Armstead is right now the short man with Drury the deep man, and Genzer on 2 punts with a healthy average. No pressure. Gets it out of there, and Armstead drops back and calls a fair catch at the 36 of West Virginia. 39-yard punt. And so the Mountaineers, leading by 6, will take over the ball in good field position. 36. Leading on 2 field goals by Paul Woodside. Hostetler gives the ball to Wolfley, his fullback. And he took a decisive hit from Yogi Jones.
From this vantage point, the West Virginia team are really enthused. They're fired up. They're playing for prestige that they've never had, and Pittsburgh is trying to hold on what they've had for many, many years. Just a different attitude out on the field.
2nd down and 8 for the Mountaineers. Fullback's got it, Wolfley. He's to the 42. Needs 4 for his 1st down.
Last year, today have only caught 1 pass between them.
And 2 touchdowns for the season. 3rd and a long 4. That's Curlin back in motion. Hostetler to throw it, has some time, gets it off, penalty flag down, pass to Beck. Beck going for the marker. I think he's short of the marker. Yogi Jones on the coverage.
Major upset brewing in game.
Running team is in now. Superick, Steve Superick. I finally got the correct pronunciation. He's going to be hitting it for the 5th time today. Tommy Flynn is back to accept it for Pittsburgh. The freshman averaging just under 40 on his 4 kicks. Snap is good. And the kick is good. And Flynn goes to the fair catch signal, standing just beyond his own 16-yard line. So once again, Pittsburgh does not have very good field position after that. Collins and Dawkins double wide, bottom of the picture. And it's Brian Thomas over left tackle. Good hold. Penalty flag down. 25-26-yard line.
Penalty against Pittsburgh when the umpire drops that flag there 9 out of 10 times.
They'll take the penalty. Pittsburgh's already indicated that.
See, that's holding. That should be 10 yards.
Yep.
Wrong. Instead of going out and having a good time and letting the tip fall where they may.
It's 1st down and 17 from the 10. Moreno sets it up, throws it to Collins. Collins has it. Pretty good coverage by the Mountaineers, but Dwight Collins has great leaping ability. He's a big, strong youngster, and he just went up and got it despite Steve Newberry. Meantime, in the trenches, let's have a look.
Fralick, number 79, is 6'5", 270 pounds, and he's protecting against a very fine football player, Darrell Taylor, number 90. Look at them just wrestle each other backward and around. Hey. Uh-oh, hold on. Uh-oh. Official didn't see that. They got a little something going there.
2nd down and 12. Pass is out to Collins. Carrying the ball like a loaf of bread, but he hangs on to it up to about the 24. And Steve Newberry brings him down. So it looks like where Collins is going now in the second half, Newberry is going with him. Football. Third down, 2.5. Inside the 25. They'll throw for it. Moreno looks over the middle, goes short, and the pass is caught by Beach, the fullback, out of the backfield. Armstead hit him hard. Beach held on to the ball. First down, Panthers. Freilich and Talley are still going at it.
Well, you get something going. Tempers come up a little bit. Number 79 using his hands. Legal to do that. You can set your hands and set your feet. Now he's got a hold of his jersey, I believe. Yes, with his left hand. Talley can't get away from him. Wow.
Boy, that's a war of elephants, isn't it? They're really going at it. They're doing their job, both of them.
No way Marino's going to get rushed with that type of maneuver.
37-yard line. Hand off to the fullback, Bill Beach. Beach across the 40 to the 41. Got about 4 yards on the carry.
Well, that Freilich, as far as sophomores, got a pretty good temper, too, Andy Keith.
Yes, he has.
Most sophomores are a little timid, but this young man started as a freshman.
Second down, 6. Darrell Clark is in at flanker now for Pittsburgh, a sophomore, number 36, out of Miami. Marino looking. Set up a screen for Thomas. Got some help over there, and he's got enough help for the first down, and a penalty flag goes down. Look out again. Holding again, I think. It's a hold again against Pittsburgh.
Second down and 15.
It'll be second down and about 16 as they back him up, and a long pass over the middle is incomplete. And number 44, Tim Agee, sacrificing his entire body, came whistling in there to separate Collins from the ball.
Tim Agee is an outstanding free safety. Remember that the emphasis on pass defense is changing direction. Let's watch Agee. He's backing up. Remember, he's the safety man. He's in behind Collins. Now watch how he changes directions, coming out of the right of your screen and puts that headgear right on Collins, and the ball separates from him. Tim Agee, number 44.
Third down and 16. 8 flags against Pittsburgh today for 66 yards. Marino on a deep drop. He's got Collins wide open, goes over the middle for Dawkins, and they just about behead him. Agee coming in hard, but Dawkins miraculously holds on. Let's wonder now if that kind of a play might be enough to jack up the Pittsburgh team.
Well, Dawkins is going to get pushed down or pushed to the side by 45 of West Virginia. Now he's in the middle. Let's watch Agee again. Number 44 going to take his feet right out from under him. Dawkins is vulnerable up in the air. It's a wonder he held on to the ball, but he did. Just a great play.
Agee underneath and Daniels on top, but Dawkins held on, and it's first down Panthers. The ball at their own 49, and the Panthers moving too soon. Tight end started too soon.
If you mentioned that Pittsburgh had 8 penalties, they've had 27 in the first 3 ball games, averaging 9 per game. That's too many to be a good football team.
That's right. You just kill. First and 15 as Marino gives to Thomas, and Thomas is decked behind the line of scrimmage, and Darrell Talley, boy, they got him steamed up over there on that side, don't they?
Darrell Talley, number 90, leading tackle last year for the West Virginia team. Watch him, he's a player, uses his hands. He knows where the football is. That's awareness, good athlete. Look at the leg drive, had great leverage to make the play.
Loss is back to the Pittsburgh 43. Loss of 6.
I think that young man, Jeff Hostetler, doesn't want to win this football game, having transferred from Penn State, playing against arch rival Pittsburgh.
Marino gives the ball to Collins. Collins coming around on a flanker reverse. And he carries across midfield to the West Virginia 49. He is 8 yards short of the first down. They're going to be looking at 3rd and long.
Without a touchdown so far. pound on them, and it gets stronger in the fourth quarter is the old method of college coaching.
3rd and 8. Marino on a drop, going deep. It's up. Dawkins is there. Got no chance. He turns into a defensive back and slaps the ball away as West Virginia went for the interception. So it'll be 4th down, and you get a few hoots now out of the hometown crowd.
Well, you're going to see Dawkins has no chance. He's running right into the teeth of the defense. A zone coverage. Everybody back playing the play. Rodriguez, number 23, and Aged, number 44, right there. No chance to complete it. Could have been intercepted.
Ganger's in for his 5th punt of the day. Armstead is deep for West Virginia. No pressure. Armstead looking up into the air. It's got that. I don't believe that. I don't believe it.
It's great acting, though.
Oh, my goodness. You're talking about a second baseman decoying somebody on a double play. Armstead took it to the sideline, looking up in the air. Half the Pittsburgh football team went with him. The ball just rolled on in the end zone.
For the fake.
They had a chance to down it deep, too. Instead, West Virginia has it out at the 20, 1st down. Hostetler gives the ball to Curlin Beck, trying to get around the corner, and he does not get to the line of scrimmage. As the Panthers are having none of it, Aldisert among those over there. And it's 17-5 now in Gainesville. LSU. And Florida State's laying one on Ohio State. Hostetler to put it up on 2nd down and 12 and bounces the ball in front of Curlin Beck. And that time, Pittsburgh got some penetration against him.
Bill Moss, the right tackle, number 71, was back there really bothering Hostetler. He only 6 yards in his 3rd quarter.
West Virginia's 2 for 9 in 3rd down conversions with Walzak at tailback. Hostetler back to throw it, gets it off over the middle. He threw a blue dart, and it's complete to Darrell Miller. Boy, I'll guarantee you that Darrell pulled off his shirt tail, you'd see a cross when that one landed.
Down.
And it's a 1st down for West Virginia at their own 34. They lead 6-0 here in the 3rd quarter with 4:09 to play. Hostetler runs out of trouble. Big, strong kid. And he's up to about the 40 before Yogi Jones, a linebacker, can bring him down. He does not intimidate.
Once again, we see the advantage of having a quarterback big and strong. Look at those legs. You can see why the Pittsburgh coaches were fearful that he could shake off the rushers and get outside and make the big play. He has a couple times so far in this ball game.
But their mettle was tested and has come up shining here against Pittsburgh so far. But it's still only a 6-0 ball game. That's a little swing out of the tailback, Walzak. And Mickey gets it across up to the 45. And that should be enough for another West Virginia 1st down. Center might be the man who is hurt on the play. Hostetler turns, gives the ball off to Curlin Beck. And there's a face mask call against Pittsburgh. It'll probably be an incidental grab, which will be a 5-yard penalty. But it was clearly a face mask.
For it to be a 15-yard penalty, it has to be twisting, pulling, or turning.
Like Frelick and Talley have been doing to each other.
Let's see if we can tell exactly what happened. It's 15 yards, Steve. Must have got a good hold of it.
Face mask on the blue.
I think it's Jones, number 59. He's got a hold of it. He's going to turn his head all the way around.
Body 2.
56.
Yogi Jones got him, yeah.
Jones hit him first, and then Coleman came in also, number 56. 15-yard penalty.
And the ball moves to the Pittsburgh Panthers' 37-yard line. 1st down for West Virginia. They stick a touchdown in the end zone. Look out. Curlin Beck, the tailback. Maybe a yard, no more. Bill Ma's 7th quarter. West Virginia sitting on a 6-0 lead. They're trying for the blitz. And Pittsburgh, Flynn was coming up the middle from his safety position. And the Pittsburgh linemen were dancing around, and finally Kurt Keel had his concentration broken. And they're going to eat the flag. the offsetting penalties anyway, I guess, because they probably have said, well, it's encroachment one way and the movement the other. So from the 37 of Pittsburgh, it is still second down and about 10. Hostetler still got it and getting some heat, but runs away from it. Gets his pass off. And it is incomplete, intended for Mark Rao. And a pretty good defensive play back there by number 29, Pete Short for Pittsburgh. Now is 14 out of 26 for 160 yards in the ball game. And he's looking at third down and about 10. He's got his tailback back set up in a flanker position. He's coming back across the middle, but it goes the other way, and the pass is complete to Mullen for a first down at the Pittsburgh 27.
Keith, that's one of the...
It's been Hostetler's show so far today, offensively. He's back to put it up again. He looks, he's hit, and he goes down behind the line of scrimmage. He looked right, and it was looking to come back the other way, and Dave Pozzoli, meantime, got him. And Dolman's a little hot. Officials run him out of there. That is the 5th quarterback sack this year of Hostetler. So the West Virginia offensive linemen have been taking pretty good care of their quarterback.
Sometimes he's not careful.
It's second down, and they need over the middle. It goes, and it is incomplete, intended for Walczak, as the sack had put him back at the 34, and he tried to go down the middle, and he got some heat from J.C. Pelusi, as J.C. was there just about the time Hostetler was trying to throw it, and he had no chance to get the ball deep to Walczak. And they need about 19. Hostetler's got to run out of trouble again, and he does. And he gets it off, and he's got his man, and he just missed him. Oh, boy. Wayne Brown was there, but Hostetler, running for his life, could not be that accurate, and he just missed him.
Let's watch Brown alter his pattern. He's going inside, and now when Hostetler scrambles, he knows I break to the outside, and you can see the back fall down. I think that's Short, number 29. Brown is wide open, but is just off of his fingertips. It would have been a first down on the 4-yard line.
And Suprix in to punt. His 6th punt of the day. Well, the Pitt defense does its job. They keep him out of field goal range. And Suprix hits it up into the air. They ought to be able to kill it pretty deep. It takes a Pittsburgh bounce and bounces back inside the 20. Now it rolls a little bit dead, about the 16. Oh, my goodness. We've got some peppers. There will be a penalty there. One of the West Virginia youngsters lost his composure. An 18-yard punt, but effective in that it was ruled dead at the 16, and I think the Mountaineers now are going to get nailed with a personal foul. It isn't first down and 5 for Pittsburgh, up on the 21. Dead ball foul makes it first and 5. Marino gives to Thomas. Thomas caught behind the line of scrimmage, and that should be the last play of the 3rd quarter. So West Virginia leads after 3, 6-0, and we'll continue after this commercial message and a word from our local station. 6, Pittsburgh nothing. West Virginia has been the dominant team so far today, but they have not been able to score a touchdown. It is Pittsburgh's ball now, second down and 5 from their own 21. Still very much in the ball game. Joe McCall tailback to about the 22, and Tim Agee, the free safety, cuts him down. Again, let's check in with Jim Lampley. Well, it's third down and 4 for Pittsburgh from their own 22. Marino back. He's got Dawkins. And he made it too high, or Dawkins didn't make the catch. I think it was out of bounds by the time the ball got there, too. Armstead was covering, and it just simply doesn't work. So on third down, Pittsburgh will have to kick it away. That's the score that Jimmy just gave you. And Willie Drury is the deep man for West Virginia. Armstead is back there. Oh, it's blocked by Talley. Number 90 blocks the kick. It is loose in the end zone. It is touchdown, West Virginia. I think Talley did it all. He blocked it. I know he blocked it, and I think he got the touchdown, recovering the block kick. Yeah, he blocked it, and yes, he recovered it, and he gets the 6 points. Oh, boy.
Keith Greg Ganza had been kicking slower and slower each attempt. He held the ball too long on this particular play. Talley made a great effort to block.
The extra point try by Woodside is good. You've got 14 minutes and 8 seconds to play in the football game, and the Mountaineers of West Virginia are trying to climb a mountain here at Pittsburgh as they lead 13-0, and here's the block again.
Talley coming from the right, number 90. Let's watch him get up in the air. Right through the middle of the line where he came. Has great quickness. Ganza, the punter, took a little bit too long. Now watch the effort by Talley, number 90. Race for the football. It's in the end zone. If Pitt recovers it, it's just a safety, 2 points. But Talley, number 90, right there is going to recover it, block the kick, recover it for the touchdown. What a game he's having.
That's the first touchdown scored against Pittsburgh in the second half this season. The kickoff by West Virginia's Woodside goes to Tim Lewis at the 1. Lewis, who had a 48-yard run back earlier in the ball game, is slammed to the ground around the 17. That's the 4th time today they've had the ball at their own 17 to start a possession. And they have not played well offensively. They give it to the fullback, and Bill Beach runs it across the 25. They may mark him a little bit short of that, but let's look at the numbers for 3 quarters.
Well, we can see West Virginia is still leading in first down, but Pittsburgh has gained in the 3rd quarter. It's nearly even, but the key factors we said early in the ball game, time of possession, is paramount in West Virginia's success, and they lead by 20 seconds, which is very important in this football game.
2nd down and about 2, just short of the 25 for the Panthers. That's Thomas. He's got the first down across the 30 to the 31. Dennis Falks, the tackle for the Mountaineers.
17-yard line. Couldn't ask for any better field position chart for West Virginia.
On the first down play, Marino to the air. Goes on the sideline pattern. He's got the deep man this time. The pass is complete out to the 48. And it'll be a first down. Dwight Collins going out. There's your story that Frank was talking about a while ago on field position.
And time of possession by West Virginia allowed this field position, keeping the ball.
There's Beach, the fullback, breaking it big. He's still going. And suddenly the Pittsburgh offense begins to come alive as they ramble for a first down. Beach with a big run, finally wrestled down by Greg McGowan. So Bill Beach. 13-0. The Mountaineers lead. You have 12 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the game. Marino back on first down, gets a little pressure from Talley, gets his pass off to the sidelines. He hits his man, and the pass is good. Pass is caught by Keith Williams, number 21, a senior from Syracuse. That's going to. Dan Marino has just become the total offensive record holder at Pittsburgh with that pass completion, 6,530 yards, moving past Tony Dorsett. Today, Dan has thrown for 162, lost 10 on the ground, netting 152. It is 2nd down and about a foot. Let's see if he goes deep. We've got Dawkins and Collins on the same side at the bottom of the picture. He's going for his first down. He gives it to Beach again. And the big fullback rumbles along inside the 20 to about the 17. First down for the Panthers. And Brian Thomas comes back into the lineup. On first down, he'll put it up. He throws it. It is slapped around, and it is almost caught by Talley. Talley almost had his second interception on that deflection right there.
Marino was careless with this particular pass. Collins is coming across the middle wide open, and he didn't get up on his toes and raise up, Keith, and get the ball high and just drop it over the line of scrimmage. He tried to throw it hard from a low shoulder position, and it was deflected and knocked down incomplete. Total yards in the second half, only 39 by West Virginia. Pitt 132.
But West Virginia leads 13-0. Second down and 10 from the 17. Ball is given off to Thomas. Brian Thomas coming around, gets a little help, but not enough, obviously, as the secondary people react well and bring him down at the 14. Steve Newberry at 28, and outside linebacker Darrell Talley. I'll tell you that Talley has played a terrific ball game.
Talley has the
And an interception.
And the blitz coming up.
On third down and 7. They can't get to him. He goes over the middle, and the pass is incomplete. You're going to get an interference call against Newberry. You're going to get an interference call here.
The interference call will give Pittsburgh a first down on about the 2 or 3 yard line. Number 32, Collins, remember, caught 10 touchdown passes last year. 1 out of every 3 of 30 receptions. Number 28, Newberry, puts his hands on him. That's legal for a minute, but not when the ball, while the ball's in the air, that's legal. But once the ball gets the receiver, he should not hit him before the ball was touched by the receiver, Collins.
Also, once he moves past him, you can't chuck him either.
Yeah. Keith, I meant to say illegal while the ball is legal while the ball's in there, illegal before he touches it.
First down and goal to go from the 3. Brian Thomas, touchdown, Pittsburgh. So the pass interference call against the Mountaineers, and the Panthers cash it in, and they're on the scoreboard. Eric Schubert will be in for the extra point try.
Here's the touchdown. Just the old little body sweep. Good block by Beach, the fullback. Thomas takes it right in for the touchdown. Good block.
I tell you, that Beach has been a big factor here in this late going for Pittsburgh. The hold is good, the kick is up, and it is good. You've got 10 minutes and 52 seconds to play in the football game here at Pitt Stadium. West Virginia, they have Drury and Armstead back there, Holden back there. You don't normally get a chance to run it back against Pittsburgh's Schubert, and you don't this time either, as he knocked it on through the end zone. So West Virginia now, they cannot get too conservative. They're leading by only 6 points. There's a whole bunch of time, 10 minutes and 52 seconds to play in the ball game. So they cannot afford to get conservative here and let the Pittsburgh defense eat them up. It was a West Virginia mistake that gave Pitt the ball, first down and goal at the 3. Pass interference.
That was a very impressive drive by the Pittsburgh offense. Should give them some new life.
The guy that triggered it, Frank, I think, was the fullback Beach.
Make some key runs, key blocks.
Give it off to Wolfley, the fullback, and he gets 2 on the first down play from the 20. Michael Brooks on the tackle.
Who's trying to get the play.
Double wide, bottom of the picture. Hostetler rolls it that way. Has Miller. It is deflected, and it is incomplete. Miller's howling for interference, but the pass was tipped, and that made the ball fair game for everybody. So it'll be third down and 8. Third, they don't get the first down. Pittsburgh should have pretty good field position off the punt. Hostetler, pressure, gets away from the pressure and drills his man. Mark Rao, the big tight end. Oh boy, what a pass. And he hit him on the 32. First down for West Virginia.
Just a sensational play by both Mark Rao, number 85, and Hostetler. You can see that Rao moves away from the linebacker when he sees Hostetler scrambling. The ball is right on the numbers. Low, couldn't be intercepted. He cradles it in for the reception.
Football is what, about 7 inches wide, 8 inches, 6 inches wide, and he had about 1.5 feet to throw it through, and he did it. And it's first down. No pressure, gets his pass off. Pass is incomplete. Intended again for Rao. And Pete Short was over there. No, it's Troy Hill, number 22, over there covering for Pittsburgh. And he had his hands on Rao, and he started.
Once again, everything relies on Hostetler, the quarterback, transferred from Penn State. There are his numbers for this ball game. Long yardage.
Deep drop, sets up the screen for the tailback, Walzak. Walzak runs past a couple of tacklers, gets it out close to the 40. He's about 2.5 to 3 yards short of his first down.
Keith, what we're seeing is an underdog football team in a neighborhood brawl. Pittsburgh and West Virginia. Pittsburgh kind of lethargic early in the ball game, picking up a little bit, but we're seeing an upset in the making since Pittsburgh has been ranked number 1 most of the season and all summer long.
They just simply have not played well up to this fourth quarter. But they're beginning now to assert themselves. On 3rd and 3, a fumble. Hostetler picks it up. He looks, he throws it. It is incomplete. And a penalty flag. And let's see what we got. Ineligible man downfield. Or do we have interference? Or do we have holding? Or do we have clipping? Might have a whole lot of choices here.
Well, Keith, I looked just as you did to see if there's an illegal man downfield. There were 2 white shirts, but they were both backs.
That's what it is, though. Ineligible man. Tom Flynn is the deep man for Pitt. And the Panthers ought to come out of this pretty good shape if Flynn handles it. Of course, pressure's on the young freshman now to hit one. Penalty flags it down, and Superick kicks it out of there to Flynn. But penalty flags and a whistle before the snap of the ball. So let's come back and see what this is about. It's against West Virginia. Procedure.
West Virginia only had 1 penalty in the first 3 quarters. Now they're getting some that they really don't need. They're backing them up and will give Pittsburgh even better field position.
West Virginia's been flagged 5 times for 41 yards. Pittsburgh has been flagged 9 times, I think, last time we checked, for 66. All right, Superick now standing back near his 15. He'll hit it up around the 20. They need a howitzer here. And it's a much better kick. It's a high spinning hanger, forcing Flynn to look up into that bright sun and call a fair catch. It'll be Pittsburgh's ball, first down at their own 34. A high hanging 36-yard to play in the ball game at Pitt Stadium, with West Virginia leading Pittsburgh 13-7. Pittsburgh has the football, first down at their own 34. We welcome those of you who have been watching other games to see the finish of this one. And it's been a dandy so far. I'm Keith Jackson along with Coach Frank Broyles. And Pittsburgh trying to come from behind after trailing 13-0. They give the ball to Bill Beach, the big fullback, who has been a dynamic figure for the Panthers here in the second half. He's playing in place of injured Marlon McIntyre, who sprained an ankle. And Beach, in Pittsburgh's touchdown drive, played a very important part in the drive, getting his championships. It is second down and 4. And Dan Marino goes to the sideline, hits Dwight Collins for a first down at the West Virginia 47. And Frank, I get the feeling now that the superior manpower, the depth, call it what you want, of Pittsburgh is beginning to take its toll.
It is, Keith, and plus Marino is going to those intermediate passes that we talked about instead of going to the short man. This is Collins' 5th reception this half. He had none in the first half. Makes a good fake, a good route on you there at 28. He's open for the reception and first down.
The timing on the passing pattern is much better, both for the quarterback, Marino, and the receivers. In particular, Collins here in the second half. They give it to the tailback, Ryan Thomas. And Thomas finds some daylight as he takes it from the 47 down to the 40. That's a big first down gain on the ground. Is now back in there, sore ankle and all, number 90. Second down and 3. Into the air he goes. He's got Collins on the left, and he hits. Oh, my goodness, he hit him right in the chin. Bullet, and Collins didn't hold it. So it'll be third down and 3.
West Virginia defense have played their hearts out, Keith, and it's obvious they are getting tired to the superior manpower, which you mentioned earlier. They've got to get some pass rush on Marino to try to make him throw before he's ready.
In the second half, Pitt has moved for 172 yards. West Virginia for just 59. Third and 3. Marino throws the ball, throws a bad pass intended for Collins, and it is 4th and 3. I would think Pittsburgh's got to go for it.
Keith, the problem, I think, with this series of downs was Beach picked up 7 yards on first down, and they came out and threw on second down, incomplete. Exactly. Now they had to come back and throw on third down. They're going to...
They outsized West Virginia.
Now it's 4th down, and Marino's back in punt. He could throw the ball. West Virginia's not putting a safety man back.
7 minutes and 16 seconds to play in the game. He's going to punt it, and they've got a chance to kill it deep, and they do as Dawkins comes down and makes the catch down at the 8-yard line, and you're allowed to do that if no member of the receiving team is attempting to make the catch. So Pittsburgh's got West Virginia backed up. The football is marked just inside the Mountaineer 8. They lead in the ball game 13-7. You have 7 minutes and 7 seconds to play in the game. And they are down here where you have to be very careful. Now let's see whether or not the Pitt defense lays its ears back and starts to come. They run the ball for 2 yards up to the 10. Caesar Aldersert makes the tackle for the Panthers.
Want to throw the ball, you would like to run it, but you may have to throw it to make the first down.
West Virginia's only gained 6 yards on the ground in this half. Lines and steps out of bounds up across the 20 at the 21, and that's a West Virginia first down.
It may be the biggest first down of the ball game for West Virginia. Make the first down.
Just over the 20. So now time's going to become West Virginia's ally pretty soon. Pittsburgh laying the ears back and coming down. Moss misses Hostetler. He gets out of there. Another first down for West Virginia, and they give him all the way to the 45. Yogi Jones finally ran him out. Bill Moss had a good shot at him and missed him.
Well, Keith, we're talking about a young man who couldn't make the Penn State football team. Transferred because he was second team, wanted to be a starter, and he has played sensational today.
Oh, was that a big play with 6:09 to go.
6'3", 215 pounds, 4'7" speed in the 40. That is the threat that you have at quarterback. You can win, and we have a big upset in the making right now. Here it is again. You can see the strength that young man has in his legs.
He is from Holsapple, Pennsylvania. Fumble! Pitt's got it. The West Virginia center was hurt. Bill Legg, playing center, playing with a very sore leg, hobbling off the field now, and they couldn't complete the snap. The ball got loose, and Pittsburgh came out of there with it. First down on the West Virginia 48. A 13-7 ball game with 6:04 to play. To beach the fullback, and that's just brute strength down to the West Virginia 43.
Keith, you've already mentioned, but I think it's worth L3 and Pittsburgh recovered.
Second down, 6 for Pitt inside the West Virginia 40. too high. It will be 3rd down and 6.
Keith, I think it's very noticeable from here. The deep
3 down linemen up there for West Virginia. And again, all day for Marino to throw. And he throws complete down to the West Virginia 27. Anthony Daniels making the tackle on number 32, Dwight Collins.
Dwight Collins hurls right inside, and the linebackers aren't in position to make the play. He has a passing lane, and he hits him right on the numbers. Finally, Daniels, number 9, makes the play, but it's too late.
Collins has now caught 6 passes for 81 yards in the ball game, and he's been most effective here in the second half. 1st down, Panthers. Right around the West Virginia 28 where they put it, and they give the ball to Brian Thomas, and he runs it down to around the 22. Now the Panthers are starting to grind it with 4:40 to play in the ball game.
West Virginia is faced with a 2nd down and 5. They need to make something happen. Once again, something exotic, drastic, extreme measures to stop this rhythm of the Pittsburgh team.
On 2nd down, Marino goes short. It is off the hands of Dwight Collins and could have been intercepted. In fact, it was almost intercepted. He was wide open.
And Marino had all day no pressure from the tired, and I mean tired, West Virginia front 4. You look at Coach Fazio giving the play to Dan Marino, number 13. Had an outstanding second half so far.
Marino now with 192 yards on 17 out of 38. 3rd down and 4. He's going for John Brown. Brown's got it at the 8-yard line. John Brown, the tight end. Virginia 8. Brian Thomas to near the 6.
I believe Marino is going to have to go to the very little room to have to cover those speedy receivers back to the end zone. Jump on them tight, cover them right as they come off the line of scrimmage is their best chance. Still
goes for Dawkins. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Seconds to play. Pittsburgh can take the lead for the first time today on Schubert's extra point try. Dan Daniels will hold it. It's good.
Here's the quick look in. Watch Marino. He's going to take 3 steps, plant that right foot, and throw a dart right into Dawkins, number 80, inside of Armstead, number 24. All the receiver does is take 2 steps down the field. Dawkins, number 80, turns, establishes eye contact with the quarterback because the ball's going to be coming quick and hard. Armstead tries to trip him, but couldn't do it.
3:23 to play. 23 seconds. Pittsburgh leading 14-13. Will kick off now to West Virginia. Schubert knocks it out of town. Drury's got it way back there, and he will stay there. And the Mountaineers will have the ball first down up on their own 20 with 3:23 to play. The scoring drive by Pittsburgh. The Panthers coming alive in the fourth quarter. West Virginia got a little conservative in the third quarter. As a result, their defensive unit is just flat worn out. Milwaukee Brewers have pulled even with Baltimore in the fourth inning, 3-3. Brewers can win today. They wrap up the American League East. Kansas City Royals leading the Oakland A's 1-0. And Kansas City vowing they're not going to let California back into it. They're going to have to win their way to the Western title if they can get it. Right now, West Virginia's problem. First down at their own 20, 80 yards away from the goal line, trailing by 1. Hostetler back, gets some pressure, gets his pass off. Pass intended for Rao, incomplete. Tom Flynn defending. They had Pete Short, the strong safety, blitzing Hostetler on the play. And he had to throw it in a hurry. Coming up, Prudential College scoreboard. We've got several stories developing today in college football. We're getting down into the season where it's, you know, if you're sitting up there in the rankings, you begin to look over your shoulder. You hear the hoofbeats behind you, don't you?
It gets heavy, Keith, and you want to continue to win, stay up there, have a chance at the national championship, top 10, others shooting at you.
Second down and 10. Hostetler's pass is deflected over the middle. He had Darrell Miller. He had Miller for a first down. Hostetler was hit hard as he released the ball and rises slowly. Michael Brooks, defensive end, got there just about the time Jeff let it go. There's Woodside on the sidelines. He is the field goal kicker for West Virginia. He has hit 15 consecutive field goals, and they'll try to get him down where he might have a possible chance of knocking on through. We welcome those of you who have been watching Baylor Houston. We're in the closing minutes of West Virginia Pitt. Pitt leading 14-13. Third down and 10 West Virginia from the 20. They try a draw play up the middle. There's nothing doing. And it is fourth down, and they've got to kick the ball away. With 3 minutes to play in a ball game, you've got to kick it away.
Yes, if you've got your timeouts left, you have a chance to get the ball back. Those three plays, I think, were really surprising. Expecting Pittsburgh to rush, Hostetler threw out a pocket and didn't have time to complete the pass.
Steve Superick, the freshman punter, is in now. He's standing back inside his 10. He has no pressure. And he gets a good spiral out of there. Pittsburgh's Tom Flynn comes up. Bear catches the ball, and the Panthers have it. First down at their own 47. He spun it out well enough, but he didn't have much length on it. It was only 33 yards, and we've got 2 minutes and 32 seconds to play in the football game. Pittsburgh is sitting up near midfield. They put it down at the 46.
Keith, Dan Marino has had an outstanding second half, 11 out of 19 for 136 yards and 1 TD.
West Virginia defense worn down here in the second half. He's been out there on the field too long. And the guy who, as much as anybody, who has triggered the second half comeback by the Pitt Panthers, number 39, carried the ball right there, Bill Beach. He broke a big run back in the middle of this half, and that seemed to ignite the ball club. And he has now carried 7 times for 55 yards in the second half.
Keith, and
the pattern of going to the air on second down. Thomas is the tailback out of the eye. Good strong-legged runner, and he's got the ball. On a sweep to the left, and he is brought down as he gets to the West Virginia 46. He's 2 yards short of the first down as Dave Oblak, a senior from Brook Park, Ohio, makes the tackle for West Virginia. Clock is running at 1.5 minutes to go.
10 seconds later than they could have.
They spend it now, but as Frank said, they lose 10 seconds if they'd called it instantly. 1:26 to play in the ball game. It was 13. Third down, a long two. It's Thomas. Penalty flag. Thomas is short of the first down. Let's see about the penalty. It came out of the pocket of the umpire.
I think West Virginia will refuse the penalty. They have them stopped on fourth down. Pittsburgh couldn't afford to gamble.
Against the blue.
It is holding a 10-yard penalty against Pittsburgh, so the Panthers are now flagged for the 10th time today. 76 yards in penalties. So it could be third down and 12, or it could be fourth down and 2.
Make Pittsburgh punt the ball.
Well, the element of field position enters in.
Against the blue.
Decline.
Fourth down.
And he's kicked pretty well today. West Virginia's got to peel back here and look for a chance to return it. Not a particularly good kick, and they force Armstead into a fair catch call up at the 15. That's a 32-yard punt, but fairly effective in that there was no return on it. And with 59 seconds to play in the football game, all Pittsburgh has to do now is play center field.
If West Virginia can just get close enough, Woodside, the place kicker, has kicked 15 in a row. So all they've got to do is get it somewhere around the 30 or 35-yard line in 55 seconds. Last week, Air Force moved 99 yards in 1 minute to defeat Brigham Young. So anything can happen with a wide-open offense like West Virginia has.
Miller really had no chance. And the fellow doing all the gyrating and jumping around out there after the flag is Tony Hill, the cornerback who absorbed the blow. Back to the 5. Hostetler out of the end zone. Going deep with it. No chance. It's overthrown. And Rich had no chance. The ball was thrown over his head.
That's the third consecutive time that Hostetler has been sacked after he threw the ball. Bill
.20 for West Virginia. Share of glory, though, Frank. It was an old-fashioned neighborhood Donnybrook.
Tight game that it should be. Against two fine football teams, expertly coached.
Out of the end zone. Moss is after him, and they knock him out of the end zone for a safety. Bill Moss forced the flag. And it is now 16-13 Pittsburgh with 41 seconds to play.
And Pittsburgh gets the ball on a free kick as we watch. Hostetler to the left.
They're expecting Woodside to try an onside kick from his. .41 seconds to play. And there it is. And it goes 10 yards, and he got it.
Woodside.
I think the kicker got it. Woodside trailed right along with it and comes up with a football. And there's 40 seconds to play in the game, and West Virginia has it.
He kicked the ball just with enough velocity to cross 10 yards. Remember, the ball has got to go 10 yards before West Virginia can recover. Now let's watch it. As it crosses this yard line right.
Kevin White, a sophomore from Casa Grande, Arizona, is in at quarterback. Come back, and Kevin White rolls it out, and he throws it in the ground. A pass intended for Wayne Brown. 35 seconds to play in the game. 16-13 Pitt. Pitt ranked #1 in the UPI coaches poll, #2 in the Associated Press poll. West Virginia led them in the ball game 13-0 before Pitt came back in the fourth quarter, and now Hostetler is in the lineup. He does come back.
Pittsburgh defense kept them in the football game all of the first half when their offense was struggling and sputtering. When you got a great defense, you can win championships. Pittsburgh has that type of play.
2nd down and 10. Hostetler has time. He goes deep. The pass is incomplete. Intended for Wayne Brown, and Tom Flynn, the junior free safety, was back there defending, and both of them had to look up into a very bright sun.
Brown, number 19, is just going deep, trying to get in position to out-jump the safety, Flynn. The ball is thrown deep enough. Let's see. Flynn goes up, deflects it, and Brown becomes the defensive back and strips the ball away from Flynn, number 5. Hostetler was again.
And there's a penalty against West Virginia. It looks like a major. It is holding. Here's your call from Ray Bauer.
Holding against West Virginia. 2nd down.
So West Virginia, fatigued, making mistakes. The most valuable players in the game for West Virginia, Jeff Hostetler, the quarterback. For Pittsburgh, Dan Marino, quarterback. A lot of people covered themselves with glory in this one. Those two quarterbacks get the vote, and the respective universities of Pittsburgh and West Virginia receive $1,000 each for the General Scholarship Fund from Chevrolet. On 2nd down, Hostetler's pass is complete to Rao. And Rao holds on all the way up at the 43, and that should be a 1st down for West Virginia. And Mark is shaken up, and the clock finally stopped at 14. It's a roughing the passer call against Pittsburgh. And hold on to everything. 14 seconds to play in the ball game. They tack on the roughing the passer penalty against Pittsburgh at the end of that play. That moves the football down inside the Pittsburgh 45. And all of a sudden, Paul Woodside is going to become a factor. He's laying down flat of his back over there. They're stretching the leg, getting him ready. Mark Rao, shaken up, is now finally up on his feet and walking off. And boy, that big kid from Pennsylvania made a big catch. He is a senior at West Virginia, and he made a big play for the Mountaineers.
Keith, we've got 14 seconds on the clock, but the officials were slow in calling and stopping the clock. And when after the catch, it was an obvious first down, and they wasted about 5 or 6 seconds on the clock, and that could be important because, let's see, Woodside's longest field goal is, what, 44 yards?
Yep.
But I believe he could kick it further than that in the circumstances like we have right now.
Well, there's no wind. There's absolutely no wind that I can see. No flags moving anywhere.
West Virginia still has, what, 2 timeouts?
One. One.
If they can complete one pass, call timeout, they have a chance to tie the ball game.
Here's the pass. It is good to Bennett. And Bennett's knocked down at the 36 of Pittsburgh, and West Virginia calls timeout with 7 seconds to play. They send Woodside out. He's coming out.
They have to, Keith, because they don't have any more timeouts. They could run one more play if they had a timeout.
You'd have to run 2 to stop the clock.
Yes.
Or else get the man to the sideline.
That would be too dangerous. This will be a 53-yard
53 yards. 53 yards. 53 yards.
And tied NCAA record of 16 consecutive field goals. Pittsburgh, #1 ranked in the country.
Tim Agee is the holder. Bill Legg is the snapper.
Pittsburgh's going to take a timeout. Let him think about it a little bit.
Well, it might help West Virginia. You never know. Because remember now, Legg is a veteran. He is a junior from Poco, West Virginia, playing with a very sore leg. Here is a youngster who apparently doesn't have any nerves anyway, having hit 15 in a row. He certainly understands the circumstance. And if it's good, from 53 yards, it will tie the game, and it will tie Woodside with the NCAA record of 16 straight. And your guy at Arkansas, Steve Little, the man who set that.
Ordonez was the one. Not
Ordonez.
Ordonez.
Ordonez, yeah.
Yes.
Ordonez it was.
It was over a 2-year period, just as this one is.
Yes.
Over a 2-year period.
The longest kick, 44 yards for Paul Woodside this year. His longest kick in his career, 49 yards. He has never kicked one from 53. And if he makes it good, as I said, it ties the game. And for West Virginia, that would be a win. Yeah, I'm sure in their mind.
Well, here it is.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
7 seconds to play. Snap is good. The kick is up. Just missed it. Just missed it. Oh, he just missed it. Just sailed under the crossbar. It didn't look from our vantage point like it was more than maybe 1.5 to 2 feet short. And 2 seconds to play.
Let's watch Woodside's action as he watches the ball. Oh, you can see he kept his head down. Right through it.
He's rooting it. He's still rooting for it. He's getting ready to jump, and then he sees it's just short. Don Nayland's reaction to it.
That tells it all right there. His team has played a hard-fought game. Oh, I know how he feels.
The game is over as 2 seconds tick off the clock, and the Pitt Panthers